Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining in. This side, Rahul Magan here, talking on behalf of Treasury Consulting LLP, which is a limited liability partnership firm incorporated in India. We are having multiple revenue streams, and one of that is publications, tradings, consulting, fintech, auditing, and variety of others. Our website is on the way, and very soon you will get to know about all of us details on our website. Today we are going to cover a very interesting topic, and I hope you heard about this topic in a lot of newspapers, but still there are a lot of doubts in the minds of a lot of people that exactly how it is happening, who is doing, what are the modalities, and so on and so forth. So today your YouTube channel, it's covering a very good topic which is known as Panama tax scandal. We can also refer this as the offshore tax scandal also. So as you understand that I am acting as a Chief Executive Officer of Treasury Consulting LLP, and I am also acting as a country director for two international forums. One is Association of Certified Forensic Investigation Professionals, IAC IAP, which is a New York based firm, and secondly is country director of ACFAP, Association of Certified Forensics Accounting Professional. Now today we are going to speak about something which is Panama tax scandal. This is how a tax scandal has happened. This looks like a small presentation, but this is not the case actually. Now if you look at here, number one, you would get to know that corporates, banks, financial institutions, politicians and respective, they are all involved in this tax scandal. There is nobody who is not involved in the tax scandal. The reason is that unfortunately the Panama tax scandal talks about politicians of various countries like Russian Prime Minister and a lot of others, and but somehow or not they tend to forget that the politicians also play a very significant role, the corporates play a very significant role in that regards, and not to mention that the banks also played a very important role in that regards as well. Secondly, you would they all will assist these people to avoid the taxes here, which is offshore tax haven, and one of them is Panama and British Virgin Island. Now I'll take a small break here. Not a break, it is an energy break, but break to tell you some intercept. Now Treasury Consulting LLP is taking an indemnification from the fact that the intercept which we are giving is something which is not of ours. It has been taken by media, and we have no role to play. There is nothing, no information from our side, there is nothing, everything is from the media, and we had taken this from Guardian, right? Now listen this very carefully. In June 2013, two Swiss lawyers held a private telephone chat. They were annoyed because in London, then Prime Minister David Cameron just given a speech. The Prime Minister had promised to sweep away decades of offshore tax secrecy, to whom we referred as offshore tax havens, by introducing a central register. Hold a minute. What do you mean by central register? Central register is a register wherein the final recipient of the money is in place. So take a simple example. I am a politician of a big country, any country. I have a lot of black money. I wanted to hide. I give to X, X give to Y, Y give to Z. But finally in a central register you will get to know to whom it belongs to, who is the final owner, and so on and so forth. Now anybody who want an offshore company would have to declare it to the authorities. Do you think it would possible? Definitely not. Here comes the people who are master in this, which is Mosaic Fonseca. Now what do you mean by Mosaic Fonseca? Mosaic Fonseca is a law firm based in Panama, founded in 1977. It is the world's fourth biggest provider of the offshore services, as you can see in the presentation. Until the publication this week of the Panama paper, it was mostly obscure. Obscure means nobody was aware exactly what do you mean by who is Mosaic Fonseca, what exactly they're doing, why they are doing, and so on and so forth. In fact, it sits at the heart of the global offshore industry, which is Luxembourg, and acts about 300,000 companies. Believe me, they have a client base of 300,000 companies, which is not small. More than half of registered in British tax haven, which is British Virgin Islands, BVI. More about it. It's a company that styles itself, employing more than 600 people in 42 countries. Name is in front of you. Its offices are located in the world leading secrecy jurisdiction like Jersey, Cyprus, Luxembourg, the Swiss canton, and your British Virgin Islands, and so on and so forth. The company is an expert of creating an offshore company or another offshore company or another offshore company, which is technically known as Russian dolls. So you have an offshore company which you know what you did, you just sync with another offshore company, and then you sync with another option company, and finally this is known as Russian dolls. Excellent. This is excellent. More about this company. Mosaica Finance say when this got unearthed, there was a lot of issues that went to Mosaica, and we should not forget that. We please should not forget that this time the leak involved 2.6 terabytes of data. 1 terabyte is 1000 GB, and 1 GB is 1000 MB, and 1 MB is approximately 1024 KB. So you can very well assume how big is the data. And that 2.66 terabyte of information, which currently as per the records is the internal database of Mosaic Fonseca. No one knows how accurate this is. This involves 111.5 million documents, which as per the research shared on the Google will take at least 27 years by a single human being to investigate. 11.5 million documents amounting 2.6 terabytes of information. Moreover, according to Fonseca brochure, the law firm specializes in trust services, investment advisory, offshore onshore structures, commercial law, and asset protection, which was not the case. Its biggest jurisdiction is the UK based British Virgin Islands, which you can see, followed by Panama. Tax scandal happened in Panama, the Bahamas, the Seychelles, and the islands of Samoa and near New Zealand. So everybody is involved. Everybody is involved. Now listen carefully more about this scandal. You have these corporate banks, financial institutions, politicians. They have few offshore treasury centers. They will invest in the fourth largest firm, which is Mosaic Fonseca. They have a staff of more than 600 professionals in 42 countries. They will help these politicians to doing the tax avoidance. I am reading few for your reference. Many British entities are involved, from banks to states such as BVI. BVI stands for British Virgin Islands. Jeremy Corbyn and other politicians have this week called upon the Prime Minister to clean the UK administrative tax havens. The dilemma for the Downing Street is that UK profit from its black money. Now, more to read. For Mosaic Fonseca leaked emails reveal the extraordinary measures that some of its most healed clients took to keep their financial affairs secret, especially the Europeans and the Americans. They have latterly found themselves under scrutiny from their own government. One theme that emerges is anxious. Wealthy individuals with undeclared offshore bank accounts are afraid they might get rumbled. Another theme is victimhood. The super rich, it appears, feel that they are being unfairly picked on and prosecuted even. Moreover, in 2000 email, Hanganter recounts a conversation with a contract who works for a global trust advisor, a firm in Luxembourg. The contract told him that her Italian clients are going to desperate lengthen to avoid being caught. She cited the reduction in offshore business was due to pressure from the Italian government. She heard that fiscal authorities took a lot of care this time. Henceforth, they wanted to take the money out of the Panama papers. One important thing which we need to understand from Panama is that Panama is not all about tax secrecy. It's not all about offshore tax havens. And believe me, offshore tax havens are always not wrong as well, in the sense that it is not a wrong. Now in India you heard about a word called participatory notes. Participatory notes also not wrong. It is a misconception that participatory notes are wrong. No, they are not wrong. But yes, the misuse of any offshore derivative instrument is wrong. Like participatory notes is nothing but an offshore derivative instrument. The misuse of the same is wrong. Similarly is here. So offshore treasury centers are not wrong, or offshore tax havens are not wrong. They are used in Russia. They are getting used to save your wealth. Take an example. If you are in Russia, you are in Ukraine. Anytime war can happen. Anytime anything can happen. So what you do? You will save your money in offshore tax haven, which could be Luxembourg, could be Panama. It could be British Virgin Islands, and there are many. Say New Zealand, Australia, Singapore. Everybody is involved. But once you start misusing them, in the sense like rather than saving your money from these attacks, you decided that you will transfer this money to save the taxes, then things will go on a haywire. Now here is the example. These law firms go one level higher, and they have decided that now they are going to offer something which is basically nothing but a fraud, which is, to be helpful, Mosaic Fonseca offered a virtual office service for its spooked customers for $1,500 a year. The company would set up a fake email account using a domain called domain@tradedirect.biz. Wealthy clients could compromise using anonymous invented name, and few of them would be Harry Potter, excellent, Winnie Pooh, very good, Daniel Radcliffe, obviously none of them exist. These all are superficial names. So this is how Panama tax scandal happened. These law firms are offering a lot of support to these people, and we need to understand how things will go. We'll give few more examples to you, and then we'll wind up this video. Mosaic Fonseca is really relying on the professional intermediaries that they conduct much of the due diligence of their offshore customer. Still, Panamanian law firm retains some responsibility. It's obvious tough checking the identity and the background of the potential and the existing clients, asking exactly what is the source of the wealth. As per books, the aim is to prevent money laundering, the financing of the terrorists and other serious crimes. Tax havens such as Panama, Anguilla, Samoa all have passed anti-money laundering act. Mosaic Finance is obliged to follow them, at least on the paper. Mosaic Finance has its own compliance department. Typically, through its investigation into a client background, it's perfectly done via Google, the FBI website, and the online database. If the search turned an adverse, finding the company is meant to resign as agent. Sometimes this happens, often this is not. Months and years went by without action after Mosaic discovered a customer was a William. Things are very murky. These law firms are offering more than what they're supposed to offer. Politicians, corporates, bank, financial institutions are having their, I would say, ubiquitous basically plans wherein they want to invest their money anywhere. And last but not the least, if everybody start not paying taxes, where would the taxes go? How the government would get the taxes? So first thing which we need to understand that having offshore treasury center is very good, where Singapore is leading the show. Offshore tax centers is not good. And yes, I'm not saying that like participatory notes, everything is incorrect, everything is not incorrect, but misuse of the same is surely incorrect. So as a company, we request the government to have a tap on these tax offshore resources. Rest is the government call. This was all about the demonstration of how the Panama tax scandal handled via a presentation. You're always welcome to join our brand Foreign Exchange Maverick Thinkers, which is on LinkedIn FX Club, YouTube channel, Daily Motion, Derivative Group on WhatsApp, Basel 3 group on Telegram, Foreign Exchange Maverick Thinkers, Skype Academies, Google Group, Google Blogs, and Digital Library. Our email ID is treasuryconsultingllp@gmail.com, and you can also write to us at rahulmagan8@gmail.com. Our contact number is 9899242978 with the Skype ID of Rahul5327. Thank you and hope this video serves you well. Thank you very much and have a great day.